All right.
It's time to go balls deep.
The EA Sports College Football Headquarters podcast. All right, everybody. We are back with another episode of Balls Deep. I am Anthony Scafacci, your host. This is Alan Gigax. And
Yo.
we are going to get right to it today with our newest segment called Just the Tip. This is one of my favorite new segments. Before we actually get to it, because we fucked it up the last two times,
Yes.
Who is the sponsor for Just the Tip?
Today, Just the Tip is brought to you by Squirters Juice Bar with locations throughout the greater Boston area. Get your face in the place.
All right. And what is the tip, Al?
All right, today's tip. Now, you guys all know about our guest likes it. That's great.
Yeah.
You guys all know about The Stranger.
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead, Anthony. Tell us what The Stranger
That is when, well, for you righties, I'm a lefty.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, I have to sit on my right hand
Yeah.
until it goes numb.
Yeah.
I also like to get like one of those surgical rubber bands and really crank that motherfucker around to where it's basically purple. Okay. And then
you feel like you're getting jerked off by Grimace?
I kind of feel like I do. And I got a McDonald's fetish, so it's okay.
Yeah,
right. And so then, you just handle business, right? Literally.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't feel like you're jerking off.
That's
but
right.
what do you got to say?
Okay. So everybody knows that. That's no tip there. That's old hat. But you can do that for other things too. Like, let's say you have to write somebody an email where you're going to have to break some really bad news to them.
Yeah.
You sit on your hand, and then when you're typing up that email, it feels like it's not you typing it.
I love it.
Yeah. If you have to if you're a graffiti artist and you're gonna like spray paint something awful on the subway car or something like that, sit on your hand first, and then when you spray, you got plausible deniability.
I don't think that's gonna pass police.
I don't know,
scrutiny.
Dude. I think it might. I think it might.
All right,
it works for jerking off.
All right. Well, thank you, Al, for today's Just the Tip.
Yes.
All right. And we are going to move right along. Today, we have our very special guest. We have Erik Vinny Dixon. He is from the College Football Headquarters page. But more importantly, he is on our storyline page, and he produces a shit ton of content there.
Nice.
Almost, he's pretty prolific. So every couple of days or once a week, he drops the college football stars and he introduces kind of like their players of the week. So Erik, welcome to the show. Tell us about what you're doing.
Yeah, so basically a couple buddies of mine, we started a Madden league. It was like 6 months before college football's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
We were kind of pretty ecstatic about it. We were very controlling as far as how much we advanced and everything, so we could keep our league going. So then we decided we wanted to do the same thing with college football. So we started one with just a few of our friends. Then
how many
we
people
decided
were in the Madden league?
We had 6 people.
Okay.
And that lasted for 8 seasons.
Wow, that's
Madden
awesome.
Seasons.
Yep.
Yeah, and so then we went to college football. We started with just us 6. Then we met a couple more friends, so we started a new one. And then I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to start a big one. I want this motherfucker to be filled up 20, 30 people. Well, the first one got 15. So
it's okay.
Hey, dude.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere,
Yeah. And we got 15. And our main rule was year 1, you have to start with a 2-star or lower school.
Nice.
You're not going to come in as a brand new head coach or coach, period. Not having any experience whatsoever. You're not going into coach Alabama. It's not happening. So
what team are you?
So we had a small snafu. The first team that I picked, I was Arkansas State. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Georgia. Why not? They're 2 stars.
Yeah.
No, I picked Arkansas State. Like the team name Red Wolves. That's kind of badass.
Yeah, they're a cool team.
Yeah, they had some great uniforms, so I was like, absolutely, let's roll with them. We were going into our 3rd season, and I had actually just accepted a head coaching job at Michigan State.
Nice.
And I was at work, and I do a lot of my posting while I'm at work, and I had fucked up and clicked too many buttons while I wasn't looking at my phone, and I deleted the entire league.
Oh no!
He went Thanos. He fucking did the snap, and everybody's gone. So what was the reaction to that?
At first, my reaction was worse than everybody else's because I immediately thought, guys, I fucked up. I'm so sorry because we've got some really good players in this league. We have a guy who started out as North Texas. First year, he actually took North Texas to the championship, college football playoff championship. Lost it to a guy that was that was Texas State. So it was pretty impressive. Two good players. But after that, we implemented some rules that we have to stream all the games. No custom playbooks. Small rules like that, nothing major. We had a small 4th down rule, if it's 4th and 8 at this yard line, you can go for it, some stuff like that.
Sure. Okay.
The North Texas guy was kind of excited about it because he hadn't gotten a job offer. He had won the national championship and he got offered Kennesaw State.
Maybe that's a step up from North Texas. I don't know.
Yeah.
He was pretty pissed, but he was happy that we restarted the league. He's now Liberty. We had another guy who was a little more specifically upset because he just signed a massive recruiting class. He was East Carolina. He had like 2 4-star corners that were coming in that had like 98 speed, both of them. He had a wide receiver that had 96 speed. He had like a quarterback with 92 speed, 94 throwing power. I mean, he had some studs coming in. So he was upset that he lost it. I told him,
you got nothing.
That's right.
Yeah. I told him, I was like, dude, it's on me. It's my bad.
All right.
Now
were you guys able to recover from this?
We have. So now we have, instead of 15 players, we have 24.
Nice.
We had 24 starting this season. We've lost 3 because every time I invite someone to my league, I tell them before I even send them an invite, look, we're all grown-ass adults here. If you got a problem, say something. Don't just quit the league. Don't be a little bitch. We got 3 people that were little bitches. Actually, I'm just kidding. Only one was a little bitch that just up and left. Another guy, he came to me.
What was their issue? Do you know what the issue was?
So one guy, he kept telling me that I want the hardest, the worst team out there. I want to have the most competition, blah, blah, blah. We kind of, due to the amount of people in our league, we kind of try to keep it to 4 to 5 user games per season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he was 3-1, and I think he might have lost another game. And after that, he had a bye week and just never said anything and was gone. Just ghosted us.
Wow.
We had another guy
and just left.
Yeah. We had another guy who was Duke, and he was constantly bitching in the chat. Just, my team fucking sucks. My team fucking sucks. You fucking picked Duke, my guy. Like, fuck. You're going up against fucking Clemson and shit with Duke. What the fuck did you expect?
Oh yeah, they're in the ACC.
So,
yeah.
So, he left, but the guy that had Troy, he just said that he's like, look, I run 2 other leagues, and I thought I would have more time for this, and I just don't. I'm sorry. And I told him, I said, hey man, I appreciate you coming to me like an adult about this. So yeah, it was no hard feelings. And I told him, I said, if you want to stay in the chat and you want to join back, let me know.
Cool.
So in the new league, did you take Arkansas State again?
I did not. I took James Madison.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
The Dukes, right?
Yes, and it is a very, very difficult team to play with because their defense has 2 players with 90 or more speed.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm sure you're aware we have the Dads League, and we all picked really bad teams. And so, we are kind of in that same boat where we know what it's like to have like bad players, where you just got no speed anywhere. And like my first year, my running back had like 81 speed. And I mean, he was kind of a truck of a dude, which was nice because at least he fell forward. But there would be times where there'd be just like open field in front of him. And I'm like, yeah, this could be about good for 6 yards.
Yeah. So we had people join the league who must have been used to playing with good teams. And the way you have to play when you have James Madison is very different from if you have Michigan.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So do you
My
have
main
go
thing
ahead.
when I play is crosses. I like to do a
Yes.
lot of short crosses. When you do
100%.
that, sometimes you can get 10, 15, 20, 30 yards. I like to use my tight end a lot. That tight end, sometimes they can break free. My fiance just said something about a tight end in the background, and I was like, oh,
Nice.
Nice.
touche.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but they can break free. I luckily with James Madison, I actually had a tight end with 90 speed on the roster, so I got lucky there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Um, yeah, and but other than that, there was one corner that had 92 speed, and there was a wide receiver with 93 speed. So I put that 93 speed wide receiver in the slot, and he gets some crossing routes, and he's able to break free. But other than that, there's really not much speed at all on that team. So
Yeah, you
it
really got
does
to
make things difficult.
like generate some drives, 10, 12 play drives, because the big plays
Yeah.
just don't materialize. Either your quarterback sucks, your offensive line sucks. There's always a
Mhm.
problem when you have those bad teams.
Dude, like when you're at Michigan, if you call a play action, you might actually fool somebody.
Yeah, I
But
bet it works.
at
Yeah.
James Madison, you
Yeah.
call play action, you're getting sacked.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, and I specifically don't call play action for that reason.
Yeah, it's
Right.
dangerous. You're living on the edge if you
Yeah.
call out play action passes.
All right. So since you
Yeah.
can't use a created playbook, what playbook are you using?
I like to use Missouri's playbook, and it's not just because I'm a Missouri homer. I love my Mizzou Tigers. RIP to that playoff record. Anyways, um, I like to use their playbook because they have a lot of the pistol set.
Okay.
Pistol is very good to run out of, and their shotgun sets. They've got two different sets with five wide receivers, which can leave in a lot of options. One of those sets with five wide receivers, there's four or five different plays where it sends two guys crossing at the same time.
Nice.
So a lot of times they'll set picks for each other, not meaning to, but they will. And sometimes it fucks them up, and they actually set picks on each other, and pass goes sailing by them.
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't throw, like, for me, I would be so afraid to use a playbook like that because I throw so many interceptions. I'm sure it's got to be a problem in your league too. So what's your secret, man? Is it just the crosses?
So I have used this playbook since the day the game came out. Okay. When I say that, I mean I've tried UNLV's playbook, and there's just too many fucking option keepers, three triple option. I can't do that shit. I Some players they're able to do it. Hey, more power to you. I can't.
Those players are 12 years old.
Yeah, they got faster thumbs than we do.
Yeah, super fucking high speed twitch muscles. Yeah. Well, I'm not doing that shit either.
I have specific plays that I've used since it came out. Everybody likes to use the four verticals. I can't do the four verticals. It never seems to work for me. So there's one play that I was using that you got three on the right, two on the left, two of them on the left. The two outside wide receivers just run a streak. The inside on the right runs a cross of I think it was a 15-yard crossing pattern, and the two on the inside they'll run out, cut in, and then cut back out to the corner to the
yeah, those are good patterns. Yeah, those get open.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and the tight end is one of them, and he was getting me 15, 20, 30 yards.
Wow.
And they did something. I don't know if they patched it or fixed it or something, but now it seems like every time I try to throw that route, that outside corner goes into zone, and he's right there to pick that every single time. So I can't throw that route anymore.
What I like to do is I stare down that corner like I'm gonna make this read, and dude, I fall for that shit. Still, I'm like, I know he's out there. I'm like, no, I can squeeze it in there with my 71 overall quarterback. And no, I can't. It's a fucking disaster.
Yeah,
dude. Sometimes it's so. I haven't yet thrown a controller, but
I did it the first time the other night.
Oh yeah,
fucking Louisiana Monroe, those sons of bitches.
The Warhawks.
Fucking Warhawks, goddamn General Booty.
Yeah. So all right. So I know on our page you do a lot of writing. How long are you spending to do all that?
Generally, when I do the player of the week, because every week when I'm at work, my mornings are very slow. So what I do is I sit there and I stream the game on my phone. and I go through the stats from every single game. And I look at every single player's stats, and if somebody jumps out and I see 4 passing touchdowns, 5 passing touchdowns, 2, 3 were receiving or rushing touchdowns, stuff like that, I write it down. And then I sit here and okay, well, this running back had 3 rushing touchdowns with 200 yards. This guy only had 150 rushing yards, but he had 3 touchdowns and a receiving touchdown. Well, that's going to go ahead and knock out the 200 rushing yards.
Nice.
So, it's stuff like that. And I just go through every single one of them. And then I go through the defenses after that. And then I put up a poll on our Discord. We run through Discord. And I tag everybody and I say, hey guys, you got 24 hours. Let's vote on this poll. And whoever wins it, I'll go on there. I'll take a screenshot and then I'll write, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes worth of a quick little blog deal and throw it on a page.
I love it, man. I read every one of them, right? Because it brings like that immersion. It's like I get to kind of know what's going on in your league. I get these little quick snapshots every week. And I've talked to you about it and stuff like that. I appreciate it. Like I make sure to like on every post and everything like that because you're putting effort into it. And when you're putting effort into something, then it gets fucking crickets, dude. I want to reach through sometimes and just start choking.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're on the fucking storyline page. It specifically says like smash that fucking like button. Dude. Like it's
absolutely.
Like button, there's the trigger pull on that's real heavy, right? But like hit the fucking button and let them know that hey, I appreciate this, so that they they keep doing it. That's how this content gets generated.
Absolutely. And my league, I'm very specific in making sure I include my guys in my league on everything I do. So I've asked them several times, guys, what can we do? What can I do to make this league better for you? And they really appreciate that I take my time out and do that. And I've told them several times, guys, I want to do this. I want you guys to stay in this league for season after season after season until 26 comes out. And then we do the same fucking thing over and over again. Because guess what? There's going to be 2 new shitty ass teams coming into 26, Delaware and Missouri State or some other shit like that. And I want us to play with those teams or something else. I just want them to enjoy themselves and have a place to go play this fucking game. And whether we win, lose, or draw, we're having fun. And I've told my guys that this isn't the best league. If you're looking for comp, you don't want my league because we're not comp. We got some good players, but we're not comp. We got a lot of players that are working on their game. They're trying to get better. They're learning their game, and especially going to a new team. They're learning that team, learning that playbook. And you know what? If they lose 4, 5, 6 games, hey, that's all right. You're going to recruit. You're going to bring in new players, and you're going to get better. And that's what our league's all about: is getting better as a league. And if you've got questions,
that's awesome.
All right,
you've got questions on your playbook and shit, just ask me, and we're always here to help.
Awesome. So Erik, me and you were talking via Messenger, and a funny story came up. Now I don't know if your wife is still here, but I was like, dude, you have got to tell this story on the podcast. So I don't know if you need to like yell earmuffs or something and have her go in the other room, or maybe if she wants to tell it herself, she can come on. And and I don't want to put.
She doesn't remember it,
but we got bills to pay.
Yeah. So I was the story specifically came to mind when you guys were talking about your wives and how your wives react to you guys playing the game.
Not amused.
Yeah.
My fiance plays her own game. Okay, it's a virtual chat room. It's called IMV. It's kind of like Second Life, but a little bit more up to date, and you can do a whole lot of shit in it. So they build these rooms. It's kind of like bars and shit like that. And she's done it ever since I've known her. Yeah, kind of. You can't walk down the street, but you just click on this bar or this room or whatever, and boom, you're in a sex dungeon, or boom, you're in a tattoo studio, boom, you're in a fucking weed bar or something.
Dude, this is just like AOL Instant Messenger from the early days of the internet.
Yeah. So I was playing Xbox one day, and I was playing college football, and I'm just sitting there, and she's real quiet and giggly, and I just happened to turn around real quick, and I didn't think nothing of it, and kind of did a quick double take, and I was like, what the fuck? And I look, and her avatar, which these avatars, they are full on cartoon characters, big titties, bush, everything. is just bent over, getting railed by this other male character that has a cock hanging down to his knees. And I'm like,
Oh my
what
God.
the fuck is going on?
Dude,
And
good times.
she quickly clicked out of it and was super embarrassed. And I'm like,
I'm
what the
doing my
fuck did I
homework.
just see?
Baby, you're not even in school.
I told you don't bother me while cleaning my room.
Yeah.
Don't you ever knock? God.
Right. And
Dude.
I was like, you're
Yeah, when
fucking
I
right
read
behind
that,
me.
and I was like, dude, that is fucking hilarious.
Oh,
Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, if
And
I
when
ever
it
caught
happened,
my
I
wife
was
doing
like,
something like
what
that,
the
I'd probably
fuck?
give her like a fucking standing ovation because I'm like, all
You're
right,
right.
you're gaming. You get it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Yeah, I'm over
it's
here
great.
going, I can't compare to that.
Yeah. So that makes it okay for me now. So
Right.
all right. So Erik, it has been great having you on. I am, like I said, I'm super appreciative that you came on to the podcast. I've been great to just get to know you over the last couple of months since you joined our page. You know, we talk a little bit here and there, and I know you've been listening to the podcast, so it was really cool to get you onto the podcast finally.
Absolutely.
And so I'm glad we did. But right now, it is time to get to today's sponsor. We're gonna
my
get there.
favorite part.
Alan is gonna read today's sponsor. Alan, who is it today?
It is. We are back to the He Held On Foundation.
Love those guys.
Yep, they've come back. Oh, he likes it. All right, that's
I
awesome.
love them.
Okay,
They're
so
doing
here we
great
go.
work.
Half Moon Bay in Hold on, I just dropped it.
Fucked it
Oh,
up.
goddamn. All right, here we go. Half Moon Bay in California is home to some of the biggest waves in surfing. Martha Haldeman never learned to swim, but that didn't stop her from dreaming that one day she could catch the big one. Thanks to your generous financial donations, the He Held On Foundation, Martha's dream became a reality. Every year, the He Held On Foundation helps deserving seniors fulfill their bucket list items before it's too late. 88-year-old Martha Haldeman was towed in by a jet ski on a specially designed ADA-compliant surfboard to the face of a massive 61-foot breaker. It was a ride for the ages, and she rode the big one until it broke on top of her. Expert surfer Reese Tipton, on hand for Martha's historic ride, said it was unlikely Martha's inability to swim ever came into play because she was probably crushed to oblivion by the sheer force of the breaking wave.
Oh, we should all be so lucky.
God bless you, Martha.
Yeah, Martha's family had money set aside for a burial at sea, and with that expense no longer needed, they generously donated that amount back to the He Held On Foundation to help more seniors live out their dreams.
Martha sleeps with the fishes.
I thought they were going to buy a jet ski.
Yeah.
All right. So for Anthony Scafacci, Alan Gigax, our guest today, Erik Vinny Dixon, we are going to be signing out. Thank you, everybody, for coming back onto the Balls Deep podcast, and we will see you again later.